Back for another exciting episode. This time we are going to build our first small grid ship. Got our work area done here. We've got a nice place to weld up. Sun's just coming up. We've got materials in the hopper. We are ready to go. Alright, so the first thing, there's a number of different ways to do this. I think I'm going to show you the simplest way and then maybe move up to more complex ways as we go. We want to create a small grid right off the bat. The easiest way to do that is to use a landing gear and build up off of that. So we're going to snap this right onto the deck. First we need material. Alright, looks like it defaults back to the large grid, so I'm going to hit number 9 again, get back to a small. Why are we red? Maybe my production queue. Yeah, I have something in my production queue. Okay. Clear that out, clear my inventory. Now we should be ready to go. There's my small grid landing gear. Alright, I'm going to put this down just above the deck. I don't want it to be sunk in like that. I want it to be just above, and I'm going to snap it and it's going to drop and lock right on the deck. So when this is welded up, it's green, that means it's locked. It's not going anywhere. So on top of that, I'm just going to create this little grid with a projector on it, and we'll go from there. You don't have to weld this up, but I like to make mine durable because I may use it again. Gonna want a battery on it. Now it just doesn't have to be snapped on top of a grid. It can be on the ground. It can be anywhere. You could be on a planet. You could be on an asteroid, whatever. Another planet, asteroid. Okay, let's get our battery welded up. One interesting thing about small grid batteries is they do not have a control panel, so we're going to have to add one of those. We're going to need a control panel so we can adjust our projector. Speaking of projectors, let's place one of those on this grid. Small grid version. Doesn't really matter where it goes. So the projector does have markings on it to denote the front and the sides. Make sure I've got this in the right direction. Yes, I do. Okay. Now I'll try to explain the front and the sides. Okay, so see how this is the top. It has these 4 sort of cross patterns. That's the top. And the front has these 2 up and downs. You see the rest of the sides are blank. Alright, so where's my control panel? I'm just going to use this really small one. Doesn't have to be a button panel or anything more expensive. This small panel will work just fine. Doesn't really matter where you put it. Whatever's convenient to you. So now I can get into here. I'm going to build this. Okay, so we're going to use the projector. We're going to use the blueprint to build a ship that is my own original design. I call it Voyager as an homage to one of the old Star Trek series. This ship it started out balanced in cargo, in thrust, in hydrogen capacity, and it just sort of did everything that I needed to do. It has lots of different ways the drills can be used, front facing for space, or down facing to shave ice off of lakes on planets. And it's just a super utilitarian ship. It does everything that I need. You can hand weld it in about 15 minutes from a blueprint. Doesn't require any special material to build. It's just an all-around tried and true ship, and I've been tweaking on it for a good while, and my blueprint is up to version 9. I've made lots of changes. This blueprint has ejectors on the back to where if you're drilling an asteroid in space and you're on a mineral deposit and the stone is just getting in your way, the ejectors kick it out the back. I mean, this ship works out really well, and you're about to see that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the projection up. So if you click on projector from the grid, scroll down, you see your blueprints button, and this will show all of your local blueprints. I've got some old copies of this one, but 9 is my newest, so I'm going to go with that. So now we have the projection up, but it's kind of askew, isn't it? It's not the way we want it. So we want this projection up in the air, touching one block on our grid, and then we'll be able to start welding from that. So I want this to be up a little bit further. And then I'm going to start moving around the projection using the controls inside of the projector button. So I'm going to hit C to squat down so I can angle up and see higher above me while I have this control panel highlighted as far upwards as I can. So right about there. And again, I have my menu opacity set to where I can see through the menu. It makes it handy for doing these sorts of adjustments. So here are my offsets. I can go back and forth. I can go up and down, so I want to go up. I can't quite see how far I need to go up. Let's take a look at that. Okay. So I don't want to be on that rounded, I don't want to be touching that rounded hydrogen tank. I'd rather be back here somewhere on these cargoes around in this area. And when you get to the right spot, you'll know, because this translucent block right here, this storage block, will light up. And that tells us that we can weld it, and it tells us that we're sort of touching this existing grid. And it's going to be connected until we grind it off when it's complete. So let's get back to the projection. So we know we need to slide it forward. And I can't really see, so now I'm going to use the jetpack and I'm going to rotate. I'll try to cheat a little bit. Vertical, okay. Still over that wrong part of the ship. I think that's going to do it. Now we need to up and down. There. Alright. Check. It should be good. I just need to come down one block. Come downwards one block. Okay. So it's got me in a funny spot, so I'm going to have to rotate around again. I want to be able to see when that cargo container lights up. So it's the vertical offset. Okay, I'm at -7 now. So if I go to -6, why am I not lighting up? I am lighting up. That was it. Okay, so that's it. We are ready to start hand welding this projection. I'm going to make this a little bit more durable by welding this up. And now when the block is lit up like this, when I get close to it with the welder, it gets encased with this, you know, the green highlight. So now I can right click on it with my welder and add that into my build planner. I don't want too many. So now I'll go and grab all the materials with the single middle mouse button, middle mouse wheel click, and I should be able to. Well, this is about all the way to completion. So now I'm going to start adding some other things with my right clicking to my build planner. Alright, and I think from here I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this, so I'll see you on the other side. Alright, it looks like we are done with Voyager. Just run over some of the features of this ship really quick. We've got just minimal defenses with a single turret to defend when we're offline and we'll maybe leave the ship somewhere. It's also a good minimal defense at base when it's on the connector. We've got a survival kit. Obvious reasons there. We can spawn at the ship if we die for some reason. We've got the cockpit and then a jump seat right over top just because that was a convenient way to put it. So this ship, again, is really all about the minimalist design. There's a lot of airy space here. The thrusters are all separated so they don't do damage to each other. There's space just wide enough with light armor blocks in between. Not about looks, about efficiency and minimalism. We've got 6 large Atmo thrusters, which is more than enough to slow us down when we re-enter heavy gravity with a full load of iron. Speaking of full loads, this ship sports 3 large cargo containers. Here's my conveyor sorter. one conveyor sorter is enough to feed 5 ejectors. That will get that waste stone or that nuisance stone out of your way really quick when you're drilling in space. Speaking of drilling, we've got a forward-facing camera. We can zoom in on asteroids from far away if we want to save hydrogen, stay in one spot, and spin all around 360, zooming with our camera, looking for an asteroid with a deposit of a certain type. That's a handy way to do it. We've got lights scattered about. Interior lights work really well. They're all around the outside. Then we've got forward-facing spotlights, 2 of those. This front conveyor system is really good for mounting drills. I like to mount 3. I put 1 in the center, 2 on the sides, either forward-facing or downward-facing. And as you see also, the cargo moving system is duplicated. So if one side gets blown out for some reason, everything will get to all the cargoes from the other direction. Duplication of conveyors on that side. We've got 3 gyros here, which makes this ship really peppy on moving on its axis. And a little bit later when we get uranium, I like to snap the uranium or the reactor right here on the front, sometimes 2 or 3. I like to do 1 right on the cockpit because I hand carry the uranium. It also makes it harder for faction members to steal your uranium, especially when you lock your cockpit. They're not stealing it, but if they're running low, sometimes they like to lift from wherever they can get it. Okay, that's kind of the rundown of Voyager. We've got 2 backward-facing large thrusters, and this is to break out of gravity. When we blast into space, we use the Atmos up to as far as we can go before they lose thrust. On Earth, that's about 6,000 feet. So I just hold the space bar, blast straight up with the Atmos until I notice my velocity decreasing. And then I point the nose of the ship straight up to the sky and turn on these 2 large hydros and blast out using those. This has lots of small directional hydros, which is really nice. And this has been tweaked over time to be nice and balanced. Okay, enough about that. I think it's time to throw some ice in here and get this thing going. You know what? I think probably... How many drills are we using? We've got, okay, 3 drills on the rig. You know what? I don't need all 3 right now. Okay, now I have 3 drills freed up. I'm going to put 3 drills on the front of Voyager, fill it with ice, and park it so it fills those hydrogen tanks, and then maybe we'll take it for a spin. Alright, there's my drills, and I think it's time, after I make sure my Atmos are running, I see all 6 down, no, I see 2, 4, 5 of the 6 Atmos turned on. I need to figure out why that one is not on. Jump in the cockpit here. Large Atmos. That one is just not, it wasn't on. Okay. So now I've got all 6. So this ship should be ready to cut away. Make sure they're all on. Yes, this ship is ready to cut away from this block. This grid. Okay, I can turn off projector. I'll just take this down. I may decide to use that again. I may just grind it down and put a connector here for the ship to sit on. Let's take a look. Okay, hit V to go to third person, and I'm hovering. So if I hit the space bar, we are up and running. Okay, I think I'm going to go just right over to that lake. Before I go over there, this blueprint probably left my buttons in bad shape, so let's just take a look at my toolbar here. It looks like I'm going to bring up the G menu so I can mouse over the toolbar. Now, this is a very individual thing. There's probably as many ways to do this as there are people playing the game, but this is how I do it. I like to put my connectors at 1 so I always know where they are. I'm going to get into turning off working with thruster override and getting into space a little bit later on, so I'll explain to you why I create forward-facing hydrogen thrusters. We won't go over that just yet. Here's all my lights, and the drills group is broken, so let me fix that really quick. And the grill, yeah, the drills group is just completely gone, so let me just recreate. Call this drills group, and G. Click on groups to find the group that we just created. Voyager drills group, and I'm just gonna slap this in here and let go, and I'm gonna select toggle on and off. There's another way to do this. If you wanted to do left click drilling and right click drilling with your ship, you would do it under block tools and drag these down into your toolbar, and that would give you the option of only turning on the drills when you hold down the left button to collect material, or only turning on the drills when you right click, which would just clear large amounts of material and not put anything into your ship. But I like to keep them on this sort of toggle. Now that I've got them on number 5, I hit number 5, they all turn on together and they stay on, so I can do hands-off operation. So that's how I like to do it. And what do I got on number 6? I've got the backwards facing hydro for space. I'll explain that later. And here's my backwards Atmo thruster. And here's my all Atmos group. If I were to hit the number 8 with this window closed, if I were to hit the number 8 right now, I would drop like a stone. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to turn off number 7, because 7 is just turning off the backwards facing Atmo. There's just that one right in the center, on the top center Atmo that's spinning that you can see. And I hit number 7. Interestingly, it's not turning off. It's supposed to be. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Okay, large atmospheric thruster. Let's look at our Atmo backwards group. There's our backwards hydrogen. Okay, looks like my group is no longer here. So I have to take this. Well, I don't need a group because there's only one thruster in it. So if I go back to my G menu, find that backwards Atmo thruster. Looks like that's the one that has backwards in the name. If it doesn't, you can go and name it so it shows up. I'm going to drag this down to number 7 again. Toggle it off. So now, when I hit 7, you know, it might be off and just not showing. Yeah. Oh, now it is showing off. How strange. Just a glitch with the animation. Okay, so you see what happened there. Now that that thruster's on, and that thruster is responsible for stopping my forward movement. If I turn that off by hitting 7, and now I thrust forward and let go of my thrusters, I'm coasting. And you can save a lot of energy by doing this. And you see my horizon line? I'm holding on the left Alt key nose up and nose down. If I keep the crosshairs just below the horizon and then hold the Alt key to lock it there, I can spin around and look in other places and it won't move the nose of the ship. Hit W to speed up to like 50-ish. And now I can just coast at 50. And I won't lose speed. In fact, I'll actually gain it because the nose is slightly down. If I was above that horizon line, I would slowly lose speed. Now, the curvature of the planet's going to affect that too, and you'll see as you play. Alright. If we were on a survival server, I would not dig on this lake this close to my base. In fact, I would fly probably at least 30 kilometers, preferably 50 or more, to dig on a lake. Because again, it shows up from space, and you don't really want to advertise yourself like that. But since this is I've already talked about that and I've already shown you guys that, I'm just going to go ahead and dig here. It really doesn't matter. Alright, as I approach, go ahead and turn on my front brakes when I get over. Now hold the letter C to go down. And I'm going to hit 7 here in a second as soon as I get over the water. That's far enough. I hit 7. You see my front thruster is braking. And it'll take me down to 0, so I'm going to go ahead and hit C. Get right down to the ice. It's time to turn on my drills. Just about touch the ice. Have to be careful, but I have that downward facing connector, but once the drills clear the ice a little bit and I move forward, I'll get some relief from scraping that connector. You can use the coasting trick that I showed you as well. As long as you nose down just a little bit below horizon, turn off your forward facing or your backward facing atmo so you can coast, hit W a little bit, and we're floating. Coasting. And I call this ice shaving. And I'm keeping my eye on my weight, which is on the bottom right screen. We're 129,000 kilograms and climbing. I'm going to tap C just to bring the drills down a little bit closer to the ice. And that actually, when they touch the ice like that, they probably pushed my nose upward. And I'm stopping. So I'm going to swing my nose down just a bit. And I happen to know that when this ship gets around 222,000 kilograms, it's about full, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to stop right around here, take a look at my cargoes. Full, full, full. And I only have 3, so that's about as much as I can get. I mean, I could just jam-pack the drills all the way full. They're up. They are about full. Okay, so that's about all I'm going to be able to take. Hit the space bar. Now, the ship really heavy like this, any ship really heavy like this, you have to be careful because it gets a little bit tippy. The performance characteristics are different. It slows down a lot slower. It takes a longer distance to slow. It's just all in all less forgiving, so you have to be very careful. Very careful. It can be a nail-biting experience after you've spent a really long time creating your beautiful ship. You're super heavy and you're coming in. You have to be careful. Well, inevitably playing this game you will wreck a few. That's part of the fun. It just stings a little if you spend lots of time and you lose one. Especially through no fault of your own, like lag or some other reason like that. Whoa, I'm really accelerating. So the other way to decelerate is you can quickly swing your nose up to flare like a helicopter. That works well with atmo thrusters, but you do want to be careful when you're heavy. It can get away from you very quickly. So I'm going to give myself, I'm coasting right now. I have my backward facing atmos turned off. about to start my slowdown. And as you see, it's taking me a really long time. I only have one braking atmo. Okay, I have to be careful with hitting the letter C to go down as well. Now I have 6 atmo thrusters pointing up, which give me a lot of lift, but I am super heavy right now. I'm going to have to build a connector, I just realized. And where am I going to do that? Let me just do that right in those trees. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that's a good spot. Right in those trees, there's room for a connector right here. I think it'd be out of the way of these branches. Perfect. Now I want to go ahead and dock this ship on the connector for 2 reasons. One is that it will share a power with the base. These batteries need to be charged. But the other reason is I want to take advantage of this O2H2 generator right here, because it's going to see the ice in Voyager and it's going to pull it and start converting it into hydrogen and immediately flow it back into the 3 empty hydrogen tanks on this ship. Up that way and this way, slowly, ever so carefully. I'm super heavy. That's good. And once it's ready to, I'll hit number 1 and locked. There we go. So now I should be able to see a mixed grid. Now I see my treehouse grid, and I also see the Voyager items mixed in. Now if I go down to O2H2 generators, both of them are working on producing hydrogen. So I'll go to the tanks. I should be able to see them filling. Yeah, the first one's filling, the second one's filling, and the third one's filling. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this round. And the next time we shall maybe take a spin up into space and test out breaking Voyager through the gravity barrier, getting into 0G, and I'll explain thrust override and all of that other fun stuff that you need to know about, or should know about, if you want to save hydrogen. You can blast full blast all the way and waste hydrogen, but the best way to do it is to learn all about thruster override. So look forward to that in the next episode. So see you next time.